welcome to Ecoholics. So, in today's video, we are going to talk about how to approach numerical questions in Indian Economic Services examination. So, numerical question is one of the most important part of your IES paper, and it is the most scoring portion as well. If you compare your theoretical questions and numerical question, there is a likely higher chance that you are going to score more in a numerical question. But due to several reasons, even though we remember that question, even though we know how to solve the question, we still make the mistake and we are not able to get a desired score. So, in today's video, I will be telling you some very important tips with which you can improve your speed in the examination as well as your accuracy of solving the questions. So, all these tips and tricks have been gathered over the years after realizing a lot of mistakes which students have made and some golden tricks which have helped a lot of students in the previous years as well. So, let's get into the video and start learning. So, the first point you have to take care, which is very, very, very important for improving your accuracy for solving numerical question, is to familiarize yourself with the syllabus as well as the pattern of the examination. Why are these things very important? So, if you have a look at your syllabus, if you are going through the topics of your syllabus again and again, and you're highly friendly with your syllabus, that okay, I know if I have to read a particular chapter for microeconomics, these are the topics that I need to study. This is what I say, getting familiarized with your syllabus. If you do that, if you are really comfortable with your syllabus now, that you know where does this particular topic comes under the which unit basically, in that case you get to develop a analyzing skill, that what kind of questions can come. Now this will move in integration with the pattern. So if you will see the pattern of the examination, that okay, in GE1 7 marker, 18 marker, 25 marker question comes up, but when it comes to G2 G3 Indian economy, that goes to 5 marks, 15 marks and 20 marks. So if I'm studying a particular topic in microeconomics, I think only a 5 marker question can come from here, 7 marker, and not 25 mark question can be asked. So when you redo the syllabus, when you redo the pattern again and again, your mind starts understanding that what kind of questions can be asked from this topic. So you can become your own teacher eventually if you go through your syllabus and if you keep on seeing the paper pattern of the previous years as well. So if you think that syllabus and pattern are something wo any student will do and it's not going to help in solving numerical, let me tell you that you are making a big mistake in that, because the syllabus and pattern are actually very important. So if I come and I ask you that okay, tell me what questions can be asked from differentiation, you can only tell if you have gone through it, if you have seen the papers, if you have seen the syllabus, that what needs to be covered under it. So you must have heard about a word backward induction in game theory. So backward induction works here as well. So when you see a question that okay, this is the type of question which is appearing in the recent past year papers, so then you go back to differentiation, that okay, such kind of questions are being asked in the exam, so I will prepare my differentiation according to this pattern. So when you look at pattern, when you look at that, that gives you a stage that this is how you need to complete a topic. So instead of wasting your time in going multiple direction, you can choose one direction if you familiarize yourself with the pattern. So this is one very important step. First point, familiarize yourself with the syllabus as well as the pattern. Now second very very important point, very very important, And this is the point where 95% of the students who are preparing for IES just make this mistake of overlooking their fundamentals for solving numericals. I have talked to numerous number of students by this time who are preparing for IES over the mentorship calls. So when I ask them that, okay, what kind of knowledge, in depth knowledge, do you have for this particular topic, the most common reply I get is that इसमें से तो numerical is going to be asked ना, so why do I need to go in depth? If I can solve the question of input output, it's fine. I do not need to do the in depth knowledge of input output model. Now input output model I've taken here as an example because you will relate to it. If you will look at the input output questions, if you will look at the revolution over the years, input output ke questions used to be very simple. They would give you the coefficients, they would give you the final demand, and would ask you to calculate the gross output. But over the years, they have started incorporating some tweaky things in between. So maybe they would bring the primary input sometimes, or maybe sometimes they are bringing the wage rate which is affecting output. Sometimes they are asking you a theoretical question. So what is happening? Many students say input output may, if I know how to calculate output, I can do anything. But no, if you are doing the input output model, you should know the proper derivation. Why, if I'm using I minus a inverse into y to find out the output, what is the reason behind it? So I always ask students to do the derivation clearly for input output in the classes as well. So fundamental clearing is very important. So this is a, there is a very high chance that when you're preparing for numericals, you overlook the importance of fundamentals. You think, okay, I'm remembering this formula, I will use this formula and solve the question. UPSC does not repeat questions in the same manner. They would always tweak questions and then they ask you. So if you're overlooking fundamentals, if you are not clear on the concept side, and even though you know the concept, you will not be able to solve the numerical. So keep one thing in mind, that you need to strengthen your conceptual knowledge. You need to know logic behind the formulas. I would request you all to have a pen and a paper with you and note down these things. So logic, and towards the end I will give you handful of tricks and handful of things you need to keep with you while you are doing numericals. So I will give you a checklist basically. Logic behind the formulas, and not just do their ratification, not just memorize them. Okay, and then read your concepts in a manner so that you can apply them to solve numericals. So if I'm studying input output model, my purpose should not be to just read it, not be to just understand what is happening, but my purpose is also that if a question appears from this, how am I going to use this knowledge to the question that will come in the examination. Okay, so you always have to read concepts so that they can be applied to solve questions. Your purpose is not here to gather knowledge, but to apply it in your exam. So always remember that do your fundamentals so that you can apply them to solve questions. Now, what is the next thing you have to take care? Regular practice. Regular practice. You will, because of shortage of time many times, what we do is we solve questions once and then we directly go to exam. And many times majority of the students solve questions only few days before the exam कि एक ही बार करना पड़े. Once you do it, I will directly go to the exam hall. But do not make this mistake. When you are working on your fundamentals, solving questions along with fundamentals is equally important. So as soon as your one topic is completed, I'm going to suggest you as well that as soon as your one conceptual topic is completed, you quickly skip to their questions from the practice sources you have or from the PYQs you have. So we are talking about input output. Let's continue in that direction. So let's say you cleared your fundamentals of input output. Now is the time that you pick up all the past year questions which have appeared from that topic and you start solving them. So, one, the first benefit it will give you is when you do practice of multi-dimensional questions, that is, once they are asking you something else in input output, next time they're asking you something else. So, when you do it, you have already trained your mind to handle such situations. So, your brain is already ready that, okay, if some kind of information is going to come, this is how I need to use the formula. So, by doing this, you can save your time in not thinking in the exam. Otherwise, what will happen if you have not solved enough questions, if you have not practiced enough questions, when you will be sitting in the exam, you will have to think, oh, अब इसको कैसे करूं, how should I do, ये तो मैंने कभी पढ़ा ही नहीं. So when you do regular practice, your brain eventually gets trained. So that is very, very, very important. The second is when you solve a lot of practice tests, when you solve a lot of mock tests, you develop answer writing practice. Your paper has to be subjective. In paper, you will have to write, you don't have to speak only. So, in for paper, you have to prepare from now, because I've seen students after you are passed out from your school majorly or from your college also, what usually happens is we are not in a habit of writing regularly. We are either on our phone or on our laptop, resorting to printouts. So we are losing out on the habit of writing. So when you are sitting in exam and when there are so many questions in front of you, your hand might swell up. People actually complain about this कि मेरे हाथ में दर्द हो रहा था, so I was not able to write, इसलिए मैंने छोड़ दिया उसको. So always practice so that you do not face any such kind of issue in the examination. So that is why regular practice is very important. So regular practice will help you to solve the questions without wasting time into thinking, and it will also give you practice so that you can solve it quickly. Now what is the next trick we have here is that is time management. Time management. Now why is time management very important? The biggest complaint which every student make after the exam is paper was very lengthy. Tell me one thing, did you not know that paper is going to be lengthy? Are you not aware of the fact that it is going to have a lot of questions? It is going to have 5 marker, 15 marker, 20 marker, and multiple options. You were aware of it. You knew the pattern. So paper is not lengthy. Paper is as usual. But you were not able to manage the time effectively. So managing time is very, very important when you are doing numericals, because usually when people do numericals, they feel I can save time in solving numericals and I will put that time into solving the theoretical questions. And due to that, their accuracy just degrades. They are not finding out accurate answers. The speed, they are just stretching, but their answer accuracy is not as good as it should have been. So, how will you manage time? When you solve PYQs or when you solve practice questions, just keep a timer clock with you in your phone or an extra clock. Put deadline to that. So, when you will, as according to the previous point, when you will be doing multiple times practice of questions, you would get to know that okay, for a 15 marker I'm taking 5 minutes to solve, let's say. So when you will do regular practice, you will yourself find out your slots. So if you are thinking that okay, I need first divide time section wise. That section A I will complete in this much time. This time I will devote to section B, and this is the time I'm going to devote to section C. So after you do that, you put time to every question among that, and then allot that question. Be very particular to the deadline you're keeping to solve one question and stick to it. So keep very proper deadline. ऐसा नहीं है that if you kept 10 minutes to solve a question, you're taking 18 minutes. Fine, 10 से 12 minute हो गया, समझ में आता है, but not 18 minutes from 10 minutes. So that is how you need to solve questions. Keep deadline and stick to it. This will really help you in exam में भी you have to do this कि okay, I'm going to just solve this question in 5 minutes, and if you're taking more than that, ask yourself, where is the problem? I tell you, the problem always lies when you have to think. If you have to sit and first think the answer, your 50% of the time you need to devote to that question just goes away. So that is why if you practice enough, you can save 50% of your time over here. Okay, now the next thing is also in time management. I would like to tell you one very important point, that is learning some tricks or shortcut to solve the question. So, for example, if you feel that you are not good enough in multiplication, learn some tricks to quickly find out squares, square roots, multiply them. Because if you just keep on sticking to the, although you will be using the calculator, but many times what happens is that if you are solving simpler calculations for which you are not requiring the calculator, you tend to waste a lot of time. So learn shortcuts. So in econometrics especially, you should know how to quickly go from one formula to another. In statistics also, you should know. In mathematical economics, microeconomics, you should know that okay, if I'm taking the log 1, it should be equal to 0. If I'm talking about e raised to the power 0, that should be equal to 1. So you should know these tricks, you should know these shortcuts over here, and always use the approximation when the values are too stretchy. So if you're getting a value 2.718, avoid taking that entire value. Maybe you can take it up to 2.71. So up to 2 decimal places, answer won't change. Okay, so try to approximate values wherever possible and do not stretch calculations. Always figure out an easier way to solve it. बहुत सारे लोग avoid simplifying. So if you have numerator, if you have a fraction, try to reduce it to its lowest term in the first place and then take it ahead. If you have something in denominator in terms of 10, so avoid dividing it, take it in decimals to the other side, because solving such things are easier. So this is how you can save your time, and the speed is automatically going to increase. The fifth important point for getting full marks does not mean 100%. Full marks means whatever effort you have put, you are getting marks according to that. So the next point which you need to take care of if you want to increase the accuracy of your answers as well as speed, you need to prepare formula sheets. If you want, we provide our students with formula sheets. You can get in touch with our team, they can help you out with that. So formula sheets are a really important thing which you can have with yourself. So formula sheet is something that you can keep on revising formulas from that. So because ultimately you have to use formulas to solve numerical. So when you have all the formulas at one place, you tend to remember them for a longer time. So formula sheet, if you don't have it, contact our team. Otherwise, you can make your formula sheets also from your notes or something. But do have it. Formula sheets should be accessible. ऐसा नहीं है एक notebook में बनाया and you're keeping that notebook aside. Formula sheet should be in front of your eyes all the time. If you do that, I can assure you, if you have formula sheets, your speed of solving question is going to increase, because the formula will be there in your mind and you don't have to think it all the time. That's the thing. That is formula sheet. Second thing you have to take care is you need to have a different register, a different notebook where you're going to solve numericals of each different subject. So you can maintain a different register for microeconomics, separate notebook for mathematical economics, separate notebook for stats, econometrics, etc. This will actually help you to revise the numericals before you go to the exam. Third thing you have to do is, if you have solutions to your questions, so matching your solutions, that whether you are going in the right direction or not, is very important. Because if you are solving it but that is done wrong, there is no point of it. So if you are solving questions, try to have the solutions, especially for pyqs. Pyqs ke liye solutions are must. I always tell my students that we do have our solutions which we give to our students, but other than that as well, I always tell them that when you're solving PYQs, you need to have the booklet with you where solution of each question is given in detailed manner, so that you are not making mistake. And once you solve a PYQ, match that with the solution booklet. So having solutions is very important. This saves a lot of time when you are preparing. So let's say you were doing a question, अब यही नहीं पता whether it's wrong or right, what is the purpose? And if you're trying to research the solution, you will waste very good precious time which you could have invested in your preparation. Okay, so formula sheets are very important. Now special focus areas, I tell you the areas where majority of the student make mistake in numericals, that is econometrics. Because in econometrics, they are not pure numericals, they are instead derivations, proof. So when it comes to proving something, people think, student think that I can manipulate and get to my final answer. So that is why the marks get deducted and they do not score well. So you have to take care of this, that when you are doing preparation of econometrics, your logic behind every derivation should be clear. So Gujarati has a lot of derivations, so you can always go to Gujarati for derivations. But special focus should be kept on econometrics, because econometrics numericals are most tricky among the others. Because in micro maths, you still know the concept, you can still find the answer somehow. But in econometrics, if you don't know the correct approach, you cannot derive the proof to that. Okay, so special focus area. Now I'm going to give you a checklist which you have to take care. So whatever points now I'm going to write, I'm going to mention, please write them carefully and stick that page in front of you, so that you do not make that mistake and you get accurate answers and you can score the most with accurate speed. Okay, so the first is, always prioritize accuracy over quantity. So people think I will attempt the entire paper and that will fetch me more marks, but no. If in order to do that, if in order to solve more amount of questions you compromise on accuracy, you're not going to land in a good position. So accuracy is always better than speed or quantity. Speed you need to have, so but quantity I would term here. Okay, so to ensure that you are doing it accurately, read questions very carefully, because many times in hurry we misinterpret question, we miss the minute details, and ultimately we make mistake in solution and we don't get any good marks. Avoid guesswork. So you always have to avoid guesswork. Guesswork mat karna. Guesswork se you will waste your time in solving a question wrongly, and then the questions which are correct for you, you will also make them wrong, because you are going to be left with less time. Second, on the day of exam or whenever you're doing practice question, stay calm. Stay calm. Always remember, accuracy is the key. Use this manner to solve the question. So always solve the question in three phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, when you're solving them for mock test. Phase 1 may you solve the straightforward numerical questions which are very easy for you, which does not require a lot of deep calculations. Phase 2 may you solve the moderate level questions such as microeconomics, macroeconomics, all those. And then in the phase 3, you come to the econometrics question, which are more difficult ones. If you follow this phase, you are going to make lesser mistake, because when you do the straightforward, let's say there were 5 numericals which were straightforward, when you solve all those 5 numericals, you get the confidence that okay, I know, I know paper, I'm going to score well. So that confidence will not allow anxiety to take over. But if you will start from difficult ones immediately, your brain will get tricked that you don't know anything, and whatever you will know, the brain is not going to work at its efficiency. So at last, I would like to tell you two things, that along with solving, along with following all these things, remember, you should have, you should work on your analytical skills. So always hone your analytical skills, and for all of that you need to follow what I've told in this video, and develop efficient methods for yourself. All things does not work for everyone. Maybe something will work for you and not for others, and vice versa. So always make efficient methods for yourself and stick to them. So consistency is the key here. I hope this video will help you in solving your numericals, and you are going to get good marks in your IES exam. We will be back with more such videos to help you out in your preparation. So subscribe to our channel to get the notification for all such videos. And if you feel that this was a good video, share it with your friends, and do tell us in comments if you need videos on anything special related to the IES exam.